Okay. Hello, everyone. Sorry about the delay. I noticed once I went live that I don't have a microphone. So perhaps it would help. So let's see who do you have here. Aman is here. Hello, Aman. 21 male India. Thank you for that. It says, why I get friend zone, Mehran. Because I think you're hitting on anything that you see without recognizing if it's a right choice for you or not. Any girl that maybe she's not interested, but you are interested in any girl, and that's normal for your age. You have no standards. Any girl will do. And sometimes they're not interested. They have some other way of, some other standards or whatever else they're looking for. So when you go in there with all the enthusiasm and expectations, and you are overly available and trying to accommodate them so much, and depending on their psyche and their expectations and their level of confidence, they may just not be interested, or they lose interest because of your availability, too much availability, and they put you on a friend zone. So pretty much it depends on how you approach it. You allow yourself to be in a friend zone. Some girls, from the beginning, you know that they're not your type or you're not matching. But because you're a boy, you're a man, you are programmed for being interested in girls. Therefore, you just want to have everybody, any girl that comes to contact with you, you're interested in, without recognizing that if you guys match or not and what her preferences are. So then you go all out, but right from the outset, it wasn't meant to be for you two. And then naturally you put in the friend zone and you wonder why, because it wasn't. It's like you pick up the wrong size of the suit from the rack and you say, why it doesn't fit? Because it's the wrong size. But you didn't even look at the size. You just picked it up, so you expect it to fit. It doesn't. So then you wonder why it doesn't. Well, because it was apparent from the beginning, but you didn't want to pay attention to it. So those ones you go in with the expectation of to be friends only because you already know it. And the other ones, then you expect something else and approach it that way. The short of the long answer. Says, I mean, I spend time with girls and have nice time and not act like a friend, but end up as friend zone. As I said, it doesn't matter how you act. It's a matter of both of you are interested in each other or not. She may not be interested, and that's okay. You seem to think that every girl who is not interested in you, it means there's something wrong with you. No. There are lots of girls who are not interested in so many other people. Just the way it is. You're not interested in every girl. Well, you are, but at certain age, you will not be interested in every girl. While it's a little bit different for us men, because you know we are programmed for procreation, so we are visual. So as long as a girl is aesthetically pleasant, we are having interest to get to know her, or more than that. But it's not the same for girls, and if when that happens, that's normal. It's nothing to do with you, just the way it is. Potara Gaming says 21 male. California. Hello there. I actually just posted something today which was in regards to your question last time. It says, hi, Meran. I'm at the point where anxiety is low, but still have thoughts, and sometimes it feels so real. Do I just ignore and press forward? I also feel really tired. I want women. Yeah, okay, sure, we all do. But sometimes it's not in the cards, is it? It's not available. So you keep on trucking until you find the right girl. But it doesn't matter if the anxiety is there or not. I'm thinking you're talking about intrusive thoughts. So, and it says, when doing exposures, can I also look at woman, or is that also considered to be reassurances? It depends on, you're not explaining it thoroughly. Why don't you make an appointment with me on Skype and we'll discuss it thoroughly? These bits and pieces here, when you want to reveal your question, but you kind of don't because it's public, and then I can't really understand it. So once you go on my site, mind@sixtruth.com, make an appointment for an hour. I'll throw in another half an hour or more for you for that particular session, and then we'll explore it. Otherwise, this is not clear for me and takes too long to explain, because there's so many videos I've made on this topic. They're all available for you. They're all free of charge. You can just type in HOCD and then find what's relevant as far as the title goes, and then watch it. If not, and if it's short and clear, I can answer here. Otherwise, go on my site, mind@sixtruth.com, make an appointment, and then we'll discuss it one-on-one on Skype. In the meantime, you say here, when I do exposure, can I look at the woman too? You can always look at woman. It's nothing more pleasant than looking at woman. I mean, that's what else is there? The whole life we spend, we men, everything that we do in this life, directly or indirectly, is for women. To attract women, to be with women, to see them, to do things for them, to get their kudos, get their attention, get their... What else is there? We are programmed for procreation. That is in our genes. So it's not like you do or you don't want. It's just the way it is. Anything you do, you get up, you brush your teeth, is so maybe you'll have a chance to talk to a woman and she would feel you're clean. So, you always can look at women and enjoy. But says, because I only desire woman, I want this to end. Well, listen, that's the problem. You want this to end as if this is determining who you are. You have missed the point. This is a glitch in the brain. It has nothing to do with who you are. You are who you are, who you've always been. You'll always be that. But when there is a foggy filament on top of your glasses, the glass prescription and quality and material hasn't changed. It's only an obstruction doesn't let the glasses do focus and see clear through it. So it's not the glasses. You just got to clean the fog out. There's a distraction. So there's a glitch in the brain. That hasn't changed you. You're still who you've always been. You'll always be. Your inclination, your gender, whatever, however you've been born, that's how it's going to be. But there is a glitch in this perceptor, in this receiver, that is not doing its job as it's designed. There's a malfunction in the signaling system of the brain. That's all. It's not you, it's the brain. It's like the movie that being projected in the cinema is not touched. Is the same movie, only projector's lens is messed up. So it can't reflect it on the screen as it is. So what it is hasn't changed. The movie story, all the artistic work, nothing has changed in this. It's original. When it's trying to be exposed on the screen, when it's trying to be reflected, projected onto the screen, there's something wrong with the projection. That's all. The lens got to be adjusted. That's all. But you think This need for adjustment, this malfunction, is to do with the actual movie. No, movie is produced and is solid. That's how it's going to be for a million years. That's how it's going to be. Every time they look at it, the same actors, the same actresses, same story. Nothing's going to be changed there. Projector is fucked up. So you got to learn how to repair the projector. That's all. Get the fog, get the malfunction, get the distraction out of it. Clean out the window. The pictures out there of all the scenery is the same. That doesn't change just because there is a window is not maintained well, or it's got a, mosquitoes are landed on it, or hit the window. All right. So says, but still have thoughts and sometimes feel so real. Do I just ignore and press forward? Well, I have all those explained in the videos. Or as I mentioned, make an appointment, Potara. Aman says, why I run out of things to say when I'm with a girl, like why I feel like I'm boring. It's because you're trying to entertain them rather than trying to enjoy your time with them. You're trying to prove yourself to them rather than doing what you like to do. Just ask her, what do you want to do? Or you don't have to talk all the time. Let her talk. If you're quiet a while, you can also see if you guys are comfortable when you're not talking. And she may come up with something. You're taking all the blunt of the experience. You're taking all the responsibility for the quality of the date rather than understand that part of it is about how engaged she is, what the level of her participation is. So when you take all that responsibility on your shoulder, you're always trying to see, am I boring? Am I not boring? Then you want assurances from her. She says, I'm having fun. How many times do you ask her, are you having fun? Don't. It's her responsibility to have fun. She came out with you. Okay, great. Now, and also it helps if you have certain plans. So I'm going to meet her. We're going to walk to this here. We sit down, have tea, and you don't have to talk all the time. Just talk about, shoot the breeze. So how was your week? Small questions that is inquiry, and she would have to answer. So she will do most of the talking, and you'll just probing questions. And there was a study done when I was in university. We studied this in the communication course. The experience was they sat person C, one person in the middle of a room in a chair, and another chair in front of him or her. And then they had person A enter the room to socialize with this person. So person A sits down and tells person C, who was sitting already in the room, everything about herself or himself. My name is this, I come from this city, my parents were there, I had so many siblings, I like to do this, I studied this, and everything in her life or his life talks about it for about 10-15 minutes. Then he leaves the room. Then person B comes in, says about a minute or less about himself or herself, depending on who it was, and then lets the person C, who was sitting in the room already, talk about himself or herself for the next 10 minutes, everything about himself. Then person B leaves the room. Then they ask person C, the one who's always been sitting in the room, and these two other people came in, and one talked about himself, and the other one talked and let the person C talk about himself. They ask him, which one of these people you like more? Well, person A told person C, who was sitting in the room, everything about himself. So person C knows everything about person A. Person B said very little about, his name, age, which city comes from, and some of his interests. But let person C, who was sitting in the room all the time, talk all about himself, his family, what he likes, whatever issues. So naturally, you'd think, well, he knew about person A a lot more than person B. So you expect him to say, well, I like person A better. But no, he liked person B better. Why? Because person B allowed him to talk about himself. Most important person in the life of every human being is almost always himself. So when you allow someone to talk about themselves, they like you more than you talk about yourself. So when you ask a question about your girlfriend or your date, how was your day? Oh, it was okay. I had a little bit of it. Oh, really? What problem? Now she talks about her problem. Or I went to this cinema. I really liked it. Oh, really? What was it about? She now tells you about the story. She's talking. Then I went and I went shopping for my mom with my mom. Oh, what did you buy? Oh, how was it? How much was it? Or how did you find it? Questions that makes her tell about herself, her experience. Small question, and she will do the rest. In other words, you're creating a situation for her to talk about her issues, her day, on her side, what she likes, what she didn't like, what happened to her. That makes her like you, because people like to talk about and vent out, and whatever situation they have, they want to express that. Rather than you try to entertain them by constantly talking, and you don't know if they're interested. But when they talk, they're definitely almost always talking about something that is interesting to them. Why? Because they're talking about themselves, and they're always interested in themselves. So instead of you trying to entertain them, you facilitate by a certain creation of an atmosphere for them to talk about what they like to talk about on her choice, by their own choice. So, which means they become person C, who's talking about themselves, and you're the one who allowing them or facilitating them to talk about themselves rather than talking about you or some other things. So they like you more because you made it possible for them to talk about themselves, which is their own real interest. So stop trying to entertain them, but probe them something that is of interest to them, for them to talk about themselves or something to do with themselves, some experience, some challenge, whatever it is about their life. So you're there in order to just direct the flow of the conversation, not to create new stories that she may or may not be interested. But you allow her and facilitate by probing something that she would have a chance to talk about herself, her interest, her story, her day. She will like you. All right. Ali loves Japan. Oh, hello. It's been a long time. Female Europe. Europe is a big place. Where in Europe? Says, hi, Maran, female 25 Europe. What are the chances for a woman of my age to never find someone again? Zero. You will always find someone. Provided you are not a perfectionist and and disqualifying everyone before they have a chance to interact with you. And depends, it doesn't matter what fitness level you are, how you look like, there'll always be some interest. But if you take care of yourself, I don't know, you didn't tell me about what your fitness level is, what you do about your um, lifestyle, exercises, sports you're interested in, activities. You didn't tell me about anything about your aesthetics and how you take care of yourself. But regardless, you will. But if you do take care of yourself, proper weight, proper healthy lifestyle, exercise, fitness, take care of yourself, naturally that would increase the number of interests. And then you will have your pick. You'll have a chance to pick. And says people my age are either married or in a committed relationship. Well, those people are uh, just because they're in a relationship, that doesn't mean that has to be the way they are doing it. At age 25, you have no business being married. Again, where are you? Which country? What tradition are you following? Age 25, you have no business thinking about getting married. Unless you're from a country that they expect girls to be married age 18, 19, and so on, as if marriage is end all be all. But you got to endow yourself with education and experience, get a career, be independent, make your own money. Then you will be more desired because you're a capable producing woman rather than someone who's just hoping to get married and taking it easy in a way. Because I know it's lots of work to be a mother or to be a wife. Yes, it's true. But you will be even more sought after if you're a woman with career and education and capabilities to economically be successful, or at least be able to contribute to the household's economy. That would take the pressure a little bit off of the man, and it would be a better chance for the two income to make a better living. So men are also looking for someone who's successful. No longer men are looking for just a woman who looks pretty and wants to be a housewife. That was when it was 50 years ago. Women were really women. They loved to be women. They would take care of themselves. They would be more than happy to be a wife, homemaker, to take care of home, take care of children. That was the tradition. That was the expectation of the women for themselves. And that was fulfilling to them. Now, there is really no real woman left around. Very little, small percentage are still proud to be woman, want to be center of the family, want to nurture the family, want to take care of the children, want to do the things that women did 50, 60 years ago, and the families were strong and cohesive. Today, women would just want, most women, not you or not a certain percentage, most women would just want to get what they can as much as they can. So they go with this one and that one and that one and see what's available to them. And they're not interested in being a real full-fledged woman. They're interested in making some kind of statement, be feminist or hate men or prove that they're also this and that. They can do anything a man does, and all the bullshit that the politics have been shoving into their heads. And we've lost the women that we adored, worshipped, died for, and lived for. And now, same women who are not following the principles and the values that was so sought after 50 years ago are expecting to have the same privilege, the same comfort, and the same assurances as the women 50 years ago did, but they're not offering what the woman of 50 years ago offered. So, if you are that kind of a woman who take care of yourself, and now with the advent of the new lifestyle or new era, you also have education and career, and also able to attend to your families and create that femininity in the house that every man dies for and lives for and wants it. That's why we want women. Why else do we want women if they're not going to be having that motherly, uh, amazing approach and supportive role and all that beautiful thing that made us from thousands of years ago to get where we are? Women made men strong. Now women make men weak and unattended. And they can't do the things a man can do either. So they're just defying and depriving a man from what they really need, but they expect to have the same kind of a lifestyle or provisions and comfort and attention as the women of 50 years ago had. It's not going to happen. So if you see what really men are looking for rather than thinking and buying into the bullshit that the feminists have put into your head, then you change your mannerism and you offer what men are hungry for, and they're not finding it anymore. And you will have a lot more men knocking at your door wishing to get to know you. In a nutshell. Now, I'm not saying you're not, but I'm just saying that's how it is now. And says, people my age is in committed relationship. I currently live in a small town. Yeah. Okay. Maybe you want to move to a bigger town. But I don't know, again, where you are, so I can't really make a comment on that. But really, I think women have lost their focus on one of the most powerful assets that they have, which is what the assets their mothers and 50-year-ago women had. Very powerful. They took care of themselves. They were compassionate. They were loving. They were beautiful. They were homemakers, something that we men cannot really necessarily do as good. There are things we can't do, and there are things we can do much better than women. But there are things that women do much better than us. And mixing it all as, oh, I can do anything a man does, or a man should do anything that a woman, that's bullshit. That's why it doesn't work. So if you can focus on the niche that is no longer available as readily as it was 50 years ago, you will have that product, which is you, everybody looking for it. Because we men are deprived of the real woman today. It's all bullshit. They may still take care of themselves, most of them. They look good, but they don't have the femininity and mentality of what a woman's power and speciality is anymore. They just want things. They don't bring their heart into it to build a family, to make a man feel strong. Only woman can do. You guys underestimating your powers, and you're not capitalizing on it. You bought into the bullshit and you've lost that what attracts us. All right. Let's go on to male 29 US. Says, my mind tells me I'm not good enough. Your mind is full of shit. Just turned 29 and I still think about my ex. Well, thinking about your ex is not you needing your ex, is your brain want to go into the memory and wants to be lazy not to go find new girls, because the memory is there and the brain cannot tell the difference between virtuality memory and actuality, what you can build in reality in the to this moment's time, present moment. And since brain cannot tell the difference, when it goes into the memory, it feels good and happy and high. So stays there. While it's staying there, you're constantly seeing her. So you don't have no opportunity to go out there and find a new girlfriend. You're just high on her image in the memory, and that becomes your standard conditioning. And you become lazy And you constantly get used to thinking about that because it's the easiest way to get high and to feel satisfied, and you get the dopamine in the memory. But get out of the memory. Memory is dead. It doesn't exist. It's not actuality. It's the brain's fun land. It's not your fun land, because you are a human being that is supposed to be living in the real actuality of life, being interacting with the reality of life. The memory is just keeping certain experiences for you to use it for the future. That's all the memory is good for. But it's got no reality to it. So if your brain thinks that it can enjoy it by keep going in there, is betraying your life, keeping you from being in the movement of life. And you should not, therefore, listen to your brain. The brain is stupid. Everybody's brain is stupid. There's no intellect in the brain. You understand that? Separate yourself from the brain. So the brain wants to keep you with the memory of the ex. Say, okay, thank you very much. I learned things from it, and it was nice when it was real. But it's not real. I recognize it's not actual. It's not real. And I want something real. Therefore, you go out and don't pay attention to what the brain's high is acquired by keep going into the memory. And it says, and I still think about my ex, that she was my soul. If she was your soulmate, she would be with you. The fact that she's not with you, that means she's no longer qualified. Maybe at one time she was, but that was is not is. And you're trying to make what it is as what it was. Bullshit. It's two different things. What it was is gone, is dead. It was at one time what you were considering its soulmate, and it was working. But it was then. When it's no longer with you, you cannot consider that what it was as what it still is. It's not. It's a different person. And it's not offering you what she offered for you to call her perfect at the time. So you can't give her that echelon or that credibility anymore. You got to actually go for actuality. What's actuality? You got to go build it rather than think, yo, she was my ex. My ex was my soulmate. Okay, was. When she was with you and she was doing the things that would make you see that she's your soulmate. She's not now. If somebody once was a soulmate, that doesn't make her to be your soulmate all the time. We are dynamically changing in the consciousness. At one point in time, you guys may be compatible on the consciousness level, and you could consider each other soulmate, which is pretty much bullshit, but you could consider each other soulmate, so to speak, because you had so many things in common. But you change, and once you change, both of you, through time, even if you stay together, you may still not be each other's soulmate because you're dynamically changing as you experience life, as you go through it. But once one of you decides to leave, that's definitely no longer a soulmate. If she was, she would still be here. How come you say she was a soulmate when she was with you, but when you hadn't met her, would you still call her a soulmate? You didn't know. She wasn't there. But when she was, you could see, and she was acting a certain way that would consider to be your soulmate. But when she left, then she cannot be anymore your soulmate. Just like when she wasn't in your life, she wasn't your soulmate. She was only soulmate when you guys had a moment, a certain portion of your life, and you were compatible. When she left, soulmate is gone. And now you look for another one. I say, can't get her out of my head because you're lazy to go out and find somebody else. And your brain has overtaken your awareness that you need some reality and actuality in your life. And you need to go find a new girlfriend and see how amazing they are. At that age, whatever your age was that you were with her, that was your expectation and understanding. So she could be qualified for you to be your girlfriend or your soulmate. But now you're a different person and she's a different person. She's no longer qualified, and you need to find somebody else who resonates on the same level. Not that because she resonated with me at some age and in the past, sometime in the past, therefore she resonates with me forever. No, she doesn't. If she did, she would still be here. Understand that and move on, and stop fooling yourself and stop cheating yourself out of life. Aaron Luis 16 says, hey, Mehran, English male, 19. What does it mean if your chest start pounding if you see a guy who has good looks and it feels so real? It feels like you had attraction. No, it just means he's a rival, and you interested in your own good looks. So when you see another good looking man, you compare. And when you compare, you might find the person better looking in your eyes, let's say, as you expect. And you say, well, he's got better chance with the girls, and I don't. And then suddenly you look at that rival and you get anxious and anxiety because he looks good. And then you interpret that experience, that perception, as an interest in sexuality. It's not. It's because he's good looks and you use your good looks to be with girls. You see a good look of that guy, and the good look in the brain associates with good look, sex, because that's what you do with your good look, sex with women, or being attracted and trying to be attracted to other women. So you see another good looking guy, you automatically associate that look with girls, which brings the concept of sex into the brain. And then the brain interprets that, runs with it, which is not you, it's the brain, and associates that with, oh, that means I'm sexually interested. No, the concept of the sexuality was triggered by a good look of another person, because we look at ourselves to be good looking for girls. So when we see another man, we see a good look, then that in the brain associates with women, and then concept of sex and so on and so forth. And the misunderstanding and misinterpretation here makes you think if that's an interest to you. But because you're not interested in that genetically, that anxiety is what is created as a form of danger, so to speak. So you have to understand that it's not your interest, is the fact that you think, oh, the interpretation of the brain makes that connotation or interpretation, and then you become anxious for the meaning of what the brain just created. Don't give a shit. Just move on. I've explained all these things in more detail that I just did here in all the videos. So you can go and put in HOCD and you will see all these explanations by title, and you can follow them and enjoy them. And you guys know that you can always find me at mind@6truth.com. Make an appointment for Skype consultation, and we'll explore what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. Stiwazi says, hi, Meran, male 30, Serbia. Says, I have a question for you regarding dating. How do you date if you are an introvert? Doesn't matter. Introvert actually loves to date because it's only you and her. Can't be better than that. Introvert loves to be exclusive and with one person, a party of two. So being introvert is not a detriment to dating. Actually, you prefer to date one woman than be in a group and enjoy a group thing. So for the pleasure of date, you give up your introvertness, and make an effort. It's like saying, the plane is on fire, but I'm scared of heights. Who cares? That's an emergency. You put the chute on and you jump out. Otherwise, you burn to hell. Same thing. You're introvert, fine, but you love women and you love dating. So what are you going to do? Deprive yourself from it? Or you step out and say, I brave it and I go for it because it saves my life. I got to jump out of the airplane. So you go in. If you can do that, you can do simply this. It's on earth, You got land underneath your feet and there's no danger there. She's the sweetest thing you can find, most pleasant thing of an experience of a man. So go away from your introvertness and present yourself for the promise of oxytocin, promise of friendship, promise of romance, promise of what you desire for pleasure, All of that are the motivations to put away, shove away the introvertness. You can be introvert about anything, but not when it comes to women. You got to be extrovert, and you want to be. Why? Because that's your desire. So at that point, being introvert doesn't serve you. So what doesn't serve you, kick out. So, okay, I'm introvert, but not now. I'll take a break from it. I'll take care of her. I put myself to her service and make her feel good. That's my job. And then create that rapport and possibly interest. And then I'll become introvert in other things. Take a break from it. And Niruban says, hello, Meran. How are you? How are you going? You mean, how are you doing? It says, finally caught you live streaming, even if it's 6:36 a.m. So what are you up at that early time in Australia? What is the time there? Yeah, it is 6:30, isn't it? It's 2. So 2 in the morning, 12 hours, and there should be another, what? 7 hours. So it should be 9 in the morning, isn't it? But you say it's 6:30. Okay, fair enough. Anyhow, glad to see you here. Hope things are working out, and hope you've been thinking about what we've talked last time, and that things are working out okay for you, sorting things out. Axe says, Chris 20 Mexico, ¿cómo estai? Or that's Italian. So, hola. Says, Meran, is childhood same-sex experimentation explainable? How can I get over it? Childhood? When you're a child, you don't know shit. So whatever you do doesn't matter, doesn't mean anything. It's a child. What's wrong with you? Some children even sitting in the shit and they put their hand in the shit. They don't know it's, wow, nice. They don't know it's shit. So what are you going to do? You got to get over that? No, it's a child. You don't count on it. There is no credibility to it. It's just, if anything out of the ordinary, something that you think, oh, why did I do that? There's no why. It's a child. Child has no understanding. He's just curious in everything with no reason. Why the child goes, puts his hand in the fire, doesn't mean that he likes fire. Just something, I got to do something. What do? I don't know. Put my hand in it. Doesn't have any logic about what the child does. So you don't judge that. You don't have to get over anything about it. Just move on, because it's just child. It's not, can't reason thing, doesn't know anything. It's not having any basis of any understanding. It's a child. No reasoning. So there's no basis of any intellectual behavior there, or any specific reason or purpose what they do. It's a child. So get over it. It's nonsense. Don't spend your time on that. All right. Haman says, you remember that girl I told you about who asked me if I like her or not and reject me? Yeah, I do. First, she ignores me a lot online. Now she's checking out everything I'm doing. Why she do that? Because she wants assurances. You just pay no attention to her. Do your own life. Don't ask her why you look at me, why you check me out. Don't. See, you're so curious on what level of attention they pay to you that you become so poised when they throw you a crumb and you run for it, and then they no longer send it because you ran too fast for that little piece of crumb. You got to put your price up a little bit. Don't run for a crumb. You run for a direct invitation or a clear communication rather than a hint of, oh, I think an interpretation of what she did in your mind is she might be interested. She's checking me out. Don't give a shit about all that. You want a direct and clear interaction. If she really likes you, she got to come and show it. Doesn't, move on. And that's how you deal with these things rather than every little thing they do. Oh, why is she doing that? You're looking for assurance that girls like you. They do. You just got to find the right one. Ali loves Japan says, thank you, dear Meron. I am from Romania, but as I know, there are some prejudices against it. Against Romania? Why? You think there is. As long as you think there is a prejudice against you, then there will be, because that's how you're approaching others. It's like by apology. Excuse me, do you like me? Or something like that. I'm just exaggerating. Because you have a mentality that people could have a legitimate or have the right or are thinking of you with a prejudice. When you just present yourself with confidence, and I don't give a shit where you come from, Japan, China, Africa, Iran, France, Germany, you need to feel you're the best of the best and you are who you are. It doesn't matter what country or what color or whatever it is about you. You got to present yourself with confidence. And that way, nobody dares to prejudice against you. When you allow it that it's possible, or they could be prejudiced, then they will be, because they feel that, that fear or that concern. British say, never let them see you bleeding. Hmm? So, in other words, as soon as they see you bleeding, they'll try to shit on you. But as soon as you're standing upright, erect, and strong, they won't dare to think anything, let alone being prejudiced. Why? Because you already are at a certain echelon that they find themselves inferior to you because of your confidence level. Once you put your head down a little bit, it would be easier to piss on you. But when you're like this, your eyes has powers and you're alert, and they'll be fearing away and minding their business and behaving properly. That's how you deal with people, rather than people have a certain prejudice. Fuck them if they have a prejudice against you. That tells you about them, not about you. It tells you how stupid and shallow and weak they are, that they have to create certain kind of a echelon of standard, or because they are not good enough themselves. They're fearful of you. So they make do you think people are prejudiced or bullying others? They're the strong one? No, they're the weaker one. They're the ones who are afraid. That's why they create these kind of scenarios in order to cut you down and make themselves feel big, hoping that when they cut you down, you stay there and you believe that you're less than them. But when they can't cut you down, they behave. So that's the attitude you should have about yourself. Not that some people are prejudiced against it. Fuck them. Says, I prefer to avoid mentioning. No, you say it. You say, yeah, I'm Romanian. And in other words, the way you say it tells a lot about you. If you say, I'm Romanian, that means come and shit on my head. But when you say, I'm Romanian, that means fuck you. You better mind your business. And you better be submissive to me in a way, You better respect me, jackass. That's how you say it. It's all about the energy that you exude out of yourself. So if you think they have the right to be prejudiced against, they will be. If you think that you're superior in every way, at least in your own life, then it doesn't matter where you come in. What are you talking about? You putting yourself down just because you come from a geographical area of a world that to you may be normal or ordinary, but to many people, Romania is, wow, it's an exotic place. It's a different place. That's how you should deal with it. All right. It says, I prefer avoid mentioning it. I'm attractive, I would say. I'm fit, do sports on a regular basis. I'm not pretentious. I just had bad luck in my romantic life, because you sell yourself cheap. You take any shit that comes in, pays attention to you, you accept them or give them a chance. You got to qualify them. And as you just said, even if you weren't, but you just said you're attractive and you're fit. Oh, Jesus, how lucky can a guy be to have an attractive and a fit woman like you to be interested in him? That's how you should think, rather than, oh, how lucky am I? Somebody pays attention to me because I'm from Romania. What the fuck are you talking about? What's wrong with Romania? Beautiful girls, good, bad people everywhere. There's no difference with anybody coming from anywhere. Change the stupidity up here, and then you will see how people react when you respect yourself. When you don't respect yourself and don't think much about you, others will also follow. When you respect yourself and think about yourself as you should, others will then take charge, take notice of your message, and they will behave and respect you and be careful to approach you, and they will approach you properly. It's all about what you put out. So there's nothing there. Romania, what's wrong? I had never heard in my whole entire life that anyone from Romania would have any reason to think he or she is less than anybody else. Romania, Romania was famous in many things. Nadia Comaneci, remember? The only woman who got 10 in the gymnastics, yeah? Romania doesn't have any bad connotation of anything. So what are you talking about? I don't know where you got this idea. You shouldn't be thinking I'm from Romania. You should be thinking I'm from Romania. That's the attitude. All right. It says, I'm not Christian. She said, I had bad luck in my romantic life. My ex ended our relationship 5 months ago. Fuck him. He lost out. That's how you should think. Jesus, you waiting for someone to come and give you value? Your value is within your manners and attitude and what you think of yourself and confidence. That's where your value is, not with your jackass who left you 5 months ago. Well, obviously, if you're attractive and it's such a woman with your attitude that I can see, pleasant, feminine, is looking for a good relationship, and you're fit, well, the ones who don't approach you are just idiots. That's how you should think. This is attractive. I'd say, okay. It says, I feel better now, but quite scared. Scared of what? You're selling yourself short. Up the price. Up the price and expectations, and then you will catch bigger fish, proper fish. These are worms that you're just trying to find a good one among. Move away from this pond and pay attention to yourself more and consider yourself high quality. Then you will not respond to attention of assholes. You will just present yourself in a way that only qualified people would dare to come near you, Says, quite scared that I won't meet someone again. Jesus. Says, thank you for your words. You're welcome. But you reconsider your own thinking about yourself and your values, things will change, because there's nothing wrong with you that you have to accomplish. You're fit, you're good looking, and you're willing to have a good relationship. You just think just because somebody left, it means the whole world left. That was not opinion of the whole world and all the men in the world about you. It was an opinion and an experience of one person. And because you seem to be really wanting a relationship, because that person left, you think, oh, that was so important to me. It's devastating me, because you wanted a relationship, but that wasn't the right guy. So just because you wanted it so much, it didn't work out, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means there's something wrong in that relationship between the two of you. It wasn't compatible, but you're still amazing as you've always been. And that person couldn't appreciate it. Therefore, he should go away. If he didn't, you should have kicked him out and say, go find something else. I'm not interested. Why? Because you don't pay the kind of attention, or you don't meet my standards. You got to have standards. What are those standards? You can't just be saying hello to anybody who says hello. Somebody says hello, how are you? No, Somebody says hello, you just do this, and you go on until they say, "Excuse me, it'd be a pleasure if I could have a coffee with you." And you say, "Well, maybe someday. I don't have time right now." Jesus, up your price. Do I have to show you these things? All right. Uh, AA says compulsion again. Did all my efforts go to waste, or can I continue from here again? Is there? You're starting from half of the sentence. Where's the rest of it? At the beginning of this question. All right, I need a little bit more explanation. Anyhow, if you just doing compulsions because you for a while you didn't do it, now the obsession is making you do compulsions. Well, the same reason that you were successfully not doing it still exists. You find the same logic, maybe same videos that you watched, and then re-evaluate it and then restart it. Why not? You always do the same thing in order to get rid of the same bad habits. Niruban says 7:06. Oh, is it then? So I guess time has changed. So 2:21, 12:21, and 5 hours, 7:06. So it's, oh yeah, it's 17 hours. 12 and 5, 17 hours. That's true. Okay, got it. And Nirvan says, things are great. Thanks, Mehran. I really appreciate your help. I'm up doing a bit of early morning study before the day begins. All right, good for you. I'm proud of you that you're taking care of yourself and things are working out good. And I'm hoping that you did what we talked about your travel and your expression to your wife about what she's looking forward to, and you're making it welcome and more, making sure it happens the way she likes it. And I'm sure she'll be delighted. That's once in a lifetime for her. So make it work good for her. And Holy Shit is here, says she cheated on me. The breakup and heartbreak was insane for me. I even had to start a therapy because she's my neighbor and I'm daily confronted with the situation. We were together for 10 years. Yeah, you were together for 10 years and you're carrying that 10 years that is dead, past, gone, and you experienced it. You're carrying it with you, wanting to create that 10 years in today. Why can't you see that she's changed and what made you choose her for 10 years is no longer with her, so she's no longer qualified? Why do you want someone who's not qualified to still be considered qualified in your mind? Why can't you face the fact that she is no longer qualified, therefore she can no longer be expected by you to represent herself as she did 10 years ago? What was 10 years ago was someone who was qualified and fit into your expectations. She doesn't. Therefore, why do you still look at her as if you lost something for 10 years you enjoyed? Cherish that, but don't expect this person who no longer qualifies to bring the standards that she brought and a relationship that she helped to bring like 10 years ago to still do the same. She can't do it. So what do you expect from her? Why do you think that she is the same person? She's not the same person. She's no longer qualified. She cannot bring that 10-year relationship that you were in it. But you still look at her because she still looks the same as if she's the same person. She's not the same person. If she's not the same person, why do you want her still? At one time, she was qualified to create that experience that you say 10 years together. She's no longer qualified, but she looks the same, but doesn't mean she has the same attributes and credentials to be able to create that 10 years of quality. It's like you had a race car and you won many races with it. And that the race car is now, the engine is not the same, electrical systems are not working the same, the tire is not the same, the wheel is, pulling to the left, and it looks the same. But if you expect the same performance from this car that looks the same as the car that it was that you won many races with, that's you're doing yourself a disservice, because that's not the same car. Just looks the same, but the credentials and qualifications and qualities are not the same as it used to be. So why do you still expect it to be with you and create the same quality of the races that you had before? This girl now cannot create and help you to create like the relationship we had 10 years ago, because she's no longer having that credentials that was needed for that 10 years to be the way it was. You got to see that, whether she's living next door or what. But next door, it just reminds you of the sexualities and all the comfort zone and all that. Life is an adventure. Move on, find somebody else, then you'll say, wow, what a world this one has. I had that one, and it went to 10 years, and there was nothing more there. That's why she left, and that's fine. Now, this one is amazing, is new, and she wants to continue. That one didn't. If she wanted, I would stay with her, but she didn't. So, if she didn't, that means she's no longer compatible with me, because it takes two to be compatible. She's no longer compatible because she left. Therefore, if she left, she's no longer compatible. I don't want her. So I want someone who wants to be with me. So find somebody else, and you will see the world she's going to create for you is far better than what you could create with this one that used to be okay for 10 years, but no longer is. But you're having somebody else who can be just as better as the 10 years ago with this one, because she's new. She's got all the new ways of looking at things. She's a different age that you are now. You're at a different age. She's a different age than you were 10 years ago with this other one. So whole thing would be more up to date for you. Instead, you're trying to make a great spaghetti with an old tomato that at one time you used to make a great spaghetti with. But we were both at a different time of your life, both fresh in a different way. Now you're more experienced, more mature, and she's also more mature. For this dish that you want to make, which is like the 10 years ago dish that you used to make, this tomato is no longer, although still maybe delicious for herself or somebody, but no longer can help you to make the kind of a spaghetti you used to make 10 years ago. It's just a little bit too mature. And your maturity is different. So go and find someone that resonates with you with the way you are, because she doesn't resonate with you. Therefore, why do you want someone who no longer resonates with you? Anyhow, tomato example was meant in a good spirit, though. Anyhow, move on to Sibel Alini. I wonder what language that it is. Says, excellent point, Mehran. Okay, thank you very much. Let me know your age, gender, where you're tuning in from, so at least I know how far I'm reaching, what age, which locations, and all that. I appreciate that. And Nova says, hey, Mehran, how is everything? Well, you can see how is everything. I'm on full speed going ahead, trying to cover as much questions as I can. All loves Japan says, haha, Mehran, you just made my night. I didn't have such a laugh in a long time. Okay, good. I'm delighted. I will have to rewatch what I said to know what you're laughing at. So, but anyway, it's good. Yeah, I remember now, I guess. Yeah, okay. There we go. Yeah, I kind of get it. Oh, yeah, the 5 months ago. Yeah, okay. Move on. Move on. Don't waste your life. Don't waste your life. Apkash says, do our fears trigger our OCDs? Yeah, because you want to create that certainty and safety. And the OCD is doubting disease. So it brings doubt in your mind about what you want to be safe from. So those fears, which is concerned to be safety and certainty, will cause you to create some kind of a sequence in your head in order to think, and you think that that sequence will ensure the certainty of something that you're fearful that it might not be. So you create these OCD stuff in order to virtually create a condition in your brain that you accept that because you did these things, safety and the assurance of how you want things to be will be guaranteed. It's a bullshit that the brain goes through. So it's all about that. Fear is lack of psychological security, and so we constantly are dealing with it. Uh, Undead Nerd says, I'm doing really great with my intrusive thoughts, and advice to everyone, keep your OCD thoughts to yourself. Okay. Uh, Undead Nerd, male, 16 USA. All right. Good. Glad you're doing good and that the videos are helpful to you. Nova says, isn't Romania named after Rome? I don't know. Whatever it is, I know it's a very interesting place. Um, One of my friends who was the director of tennis in one of the most prestigious tennis clubs or clubs, country clubs here in Vancouver, was actually from Romania. A very nice guy, and there are three of us, good friends. And he was from Romania. It's always I thought of Romania as a place which it doesn't represent people. People represent the kind of people they are, represent where they come from. But where they come from does not represent them. I could be coming from any place in the world, but I would still be me. And I would be a credit or discredit to where I come from. Not where I come from would pull me down or pull me up. The people coming from Germany is a high-end country, but could be assholes as assholes could be. And there are people come from a country that is not really so famous to be the first world, but they're gracious and methodical, thoughtful, philosophical, compassionate, smart, intelligent, educated. So it's about you, not any kind of a thing that could be hanging on you because you were born here or born there or you have this religion or that color and all the bullshit. So don't buy into that nonsense. All right. I love Japan says, moreover, Romania is a poor country. Well, who cares? Poor country doesn't mean mentally poor people. What does that mean? At one time, all countries in the world were poor country, but famous, intelligent, and philosophical thinking and amazing inventions, so on, came from all these countries that once they were poor. What does poor have anything to do with the advancement of human mind? It's nothing to do with that. Because country is poor, okay, but all I need is just a piece of bread or some food and some water, then I'm functioning well. So I could be thinking what I'm thinking. That's why there's so many scholars from all over the world, Romania or whatnot. They're all over. What was Croatia at time of Nikola Tesla? The most amazing inventor and intelligent mind of all times. The Croatia was a dinky place at one time, at the time then. It wasn't a rich place, so to speak. But Nikola Tesla didn't need a country to be rich for him to be so amazing mind of the century or centuries or history. So stop that nonsense. Don't buy into that bullshit. Dukra Tinsy Gamer. Dukra Tinsy Gamer. All right. Say, hey, it's me again, 22-year-old from England. Why intrusive thoughts negative and images feel so real? If it wasn't negative, it wouldn't be intrusive. You would say exclusive. You'd say, yeah, give him more of that. Feels good because it's positive. So anything good and positive about you is not intrusive. So naturally, it's always negative. So that's why when you know intrusive thought is nature is being negative, then you would say, why would I want to, pay my time, spend my time on a negative thing? The fact that it is negative, the nature of intrusive thought is negative. So why the heck would I even give a damn about it? I don't care about anything negative. So that's how you deal with it. Let me get rid of this, a little bit of a glitch here. All right. Let's see. There we go. A short trip to Maui. There we go. Let's go for a boat ride. Where's the boat? Where's my boat? There it is. Okay. James brings the boat. We want to go to right here. Where is this? Black Rock. There it is. Not the Black Rock that is ruining the world. We're talking about this Black Rock. Ah, there. Ka'anapali Beach. All right. And images feel so real because images feel real because the brain cannot tell the difference between virtuality and actuality. To the brain, it's a different world. So anything that is just image, it affects as if it's real because the brain cannot tell real or actual, virtual or actual. So it reacts, it makes the body react to anything virtual as if it's actual. And when the body is now subject to the reaction that the brain has induced into it, you will take the body's reaction as an evidence that this thing that is not actual is actually actual, but it's really virtual and non-existent, and it's all bullshit. But the brain doesn't tell, so it makes the body react to it, even though it's virtual, because it thinks that anything virtual is the same as actual. It can't tell the difference. Then you think because the body reacted, then it must be real. That's the whole bullshit of it. Don't fall for that, in that trap. Rahul says, hi, Mehran, 34, male, India. Wife came back at my place. Ah, hallelujah, finally. Okay. It says, after almost 1 year, we are together now. How should I handle the journey now? How should I maintain the balance in relationship? Don't make the mistake that started this whole shit. Remember, your life depends on it. You never, ever raise your hand on her or make her fearful or think, I'm a man, I got to show who the boss. Don't. Be a protector of her. Be her lover. Be her husband. Love her. That's why you married her, because you loved her. You didn't love her to bring a maid to your home or slave. Respect her. Buy her flower. It's okay. Don't think you buy a flower, that means you're weak. It means you're strong, confident. You're not afraid of anything. You give love. She will reciprocate with love. Don't push. You know, I'm a rider. I'm an experienced show jumper. I trained horses for years. I won many championships. And I love horses. So what I'm telling you is not about comparing women to a horse to disrespect them. No, because I love horses. Horses are like my family. But because I'm an expert in riding horses and training horses, I tell you, you cannot tame a strong, powerful, high-quality horse, strong-minded horse, with beating it, belittling it, disrespecting it. Horse responds. Strong animal, strong spirit responds to love, kindness, and finds that as strong. The horse wants to see you strong, but doesn't want you to think that it is weak by beating it or mistreating it. But by respecting it and communicating with it positively, the horse responds to you and becomes your ally and rears up for the direction you want it to go. and it will be combined with you, teams up with you, because it knows it's safe with you. It's protecting you, and you're protecting it. That's the feeling you should create for your wife. She's obviously showed you she doesn't appreciate misuse and abuse, and she's strong. You don't need to show her you're stronger than her by abusing her. You need to show her that you love her and you're stronger than her by giving her love and not being afraid of her not enjoying your love. You be compassionate, caring, do things for her. She will not go wrong. She will have to feel safe. So your whole plan would be to make sure she feels safe with you. Never raise your voice on her. You have something to say that you think is accurate, right, and to the benefit of the family. You discuss with her with logic, not a raised voice. That scares them. When a woman feels scared and unsafe in your presence, that's when she leaves, even if you're a very good man. You must make sure that your woman feels safe with you. She can trust you, and you will back her up. You're the place for her to come to. So you never raise your voice on her. You intelligently discuss with her, because she's not an idiot and she's not I don't know, some kind of a wild animal. She's an intelligent being. You respect that intelligence. Treat her with kindness, respect, love. Be friend with her. Buy her flowers. Bring her gifts. It's nothing more beautiful than buying your woman a gift. If you don't have money, give her your attention. Give her your kindness, your smile, your good words, proper words. Women are attracted to men more towards through their ears, the words you use, the things you say, the energy you extend to them. We are visual at the beauty of the woman aesthetically. They are finding you attractive by what you tell, what they hear. Be soft. All right. It says she's staying with me along with her mother. Okay, that's fine. And when you do that, make sure also be respectful to the mother. I don't care how tough it may be, but they will both then see, wow, how safe they feel with you. They will love you because everybody wants to be respected. When you give that respect to them, they will love you because that's what they want. Every human being wants respect. Once they give that, all these hoopla back and forth is because of lack of respect. You give respect, they say, oh my goodness, he's an amazing person. Why? Because they get something that they can't get from out there so easily, but you give it to them. It doesn't matter. You see your mother-in-law, say, hello, mother-in-law. Buy her flower too, once in a while. It's okay. Just make her nice. Maybe some nice scarf. You say, I just thought this would be becoming on you, mom. Beautiful. And on that day that you buy something for your mother-in-law, don't buy anything for your woman. Let her have exclusive day. Let her talk to her daughter about what you bought for him. And let the daughter be a little bit jealous. It's okay. It's her mother. That not about anything sexual, but about why he didn't pay attention to me, but just on mother. But she'll be happy for it. And then a week or so later, buy something for her too. It's always a good thing to do good things for the family. So don't be shy on that. And he says, can you give some advice on decision making? I'm so much confused and unable to make decisions regarding my career. how get clarity for making decision in life. Your career right now is what it was. She's back to your place, in your home, in your city. So you have your job, no? So I don't know what you mean on that. And this is how to make better choices in life if we have options in regards to career, goal, finance. Look, that's a big story. For that, I don't know exactly what your credentials are, what your education is, what your expertise are, what your background is. And for that, maybe you want to go on my site, mind@seekstruth.com, make an appointment with me, then we'll discuss in more detail. But for these sort of things, that's how much I could be involved in figuring out, because it's all about philosophy and the human psyche. But in your career and finances, I got to know lots of information that I don't have. All right. Now, excuse me. Ich habe eine Jerommel in the throat. The German friends would understand that. Ich habe eine Jerommel in the throat. Throat. All right. Undead Nerds says, my mind tried to give me another intrusive thought, but I was able to ignore them, even thought I hate them and they bother me. Yeah, they bother you because you think they mean anything or they have any power, but they don't. They're like farts. Just come and go. You don't pay attention to it. It's like debris in the air. They're there. But when you breathe, your nose has hair in it and it filters it, and only the oxygen goes in and the debris doesn't. And then you sniff it out sometime when you wash it, and it comes out black stuff, especially when there are buses and bad, combustion in the buses. When we were going to school when we were kids, these buses, there was no unleaded fuel then. It was all leaded. So when they would stop at the bus station and they would pick up, try to move on, the whole black smoke would come and we would smell the whole shit. And then at home, when we would get home and we would go wash our face, sniffing our nose, all this black stuff would come out because it's filtered. So you also need to understand that you have to create a filter for your brain. All these shit that show up in the screen of your head, you just disregard them as, okay, they are debris, they can be there, but you don't interpret them. Oh, debris there, that means I got it. No, just there, just like debris in the air. But you filter them. In other words, you go through them and go to where you want to go and pick up what you want to do. You just get the air, not the debris, because you've got filter. And you brain also, you got to have a filter, meaning all this shit that appears, you ignore them. You just say, okay, I can accept that they can be there, but they're irrelevant to me. Why do you have to interpret them? It's, nothing to do with me. That's all. Dylan says, why did he skip my question? Did I, Dylan? Where's your question? I didn't see your question. There is no question, Dylan. No, I don't see anything, Dylan. So what are you talking about? That's the first time I see your question, Dylan Marion. No, you didn't do anything wrong. I just don't see anything. Dylan, the question that you're wondering why I did escape it is not here. This is the first question, the first message I see from you says, why did he skip my question? Because that's the first one. I don't see anything else. You see, I'm checking it again, and I don't see anything else. None. None. No, for sure. So if you have a question, put it up again because I don't see it. Says, can you guys see my question now? No, I only see the one that says why he skipped my question. Did I do something wrong? The next one, it says normal. The next one says, can you guys see my question now? And says, I posted it again. Can you see it now? No, dear. I cannot see it now. I cannot see it. Maybe it's too long and it doesn't go through. Cut it into small pieces. Maybe there are certain words in there that the system, I don't know, censors it or something. Okay, I'll look for it as soon as you redo it. And Aman says, Dylan, I can't see your question either. Can you see? Nobody can. Aman says, how to enjoy life if I have low self-esteem? Increase your self-esteem. It's low self-esteem is not something that you say, oh, I'm stuck with it. I have low self. No, so just have more. Have more. You have a choice. You don't like low self-esteem? Increase it. You know, it's not like you got to wait for it to come to you. You can see that it's not good to have low self-esteem, so increase it. Be more determined in getting things done and the things that you want in life. And Rahul says, thanks a lot, sir. Your videos are very precious for all of us in tough times. More heat. More heat? Oh, more health and happiness for you. Okay. Thank you very much, Rahul. It says, not visible, your question. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Rahul, good. I'm glad that you were patient, and I'm proud of you, and treat your wife well. And, you know, we talked about it, so you know what to do. And now we have Nova says, Dylan, can't see your question. It must not have come through. Yes, now it is. Says Dylan says, male 17 US. I've been dealing with HOCD, and this morning I had a sexual dream and I had arousal to it, and it went away once I woke up. I'm really scared. Don't be scared, because I've explained all these in the videos, and I think it would be a good idea to watch those videos by title, whichever applies to your question, or you can go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, www.mindthatseekstruth.com, and make an appointment with me for consultation on Skype. We'll discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype, because here, this question is a small question, but it's a big answer, meaning I got to go for 2 hours explaining to you all the things that you need to know. So either watch the videos or make an appointment with me and we'll discuss. But ask your parents to permit you to speak to me. So I want them to know that you want to talk to me. I have explained it carefully in the videos, but this arousal business means nothing. Human being responds to anything sexually relevant sexually. You could even get an arousal by looking at a table for two set out in a restaurant that you pass by. You can see it through the window and nobody's sitting on it. It's just got the candle lights and got the bottle of wine on it, and everything is set. You can even have an arousal for that. That doesn't mean you want to fuck the table or you're sexually interested in the table. It's the connotation of it that the brain associates with sex. So you see someone, that brain associates that good look or that body part, same way you look at your body part and you want to be good looking for the girls, and the brain bypasses you and everything else and associates what you looked at, which is a good looking man, or a body part, a muscle, which its connotation and its association is with sex, because in your mind that's what you use it for, sex, and it then triggers the sexual relevance to it, and then your your body reacts to it sexually. And you think, oh, that's because I'm interested in that gender. No. You're responding to anything sexually relevant sexually. And every human being is sexually relevant. Any piece of muscle is sexually relevant. Good looks, sexually relevant. It's all associates with the concept of sex, which you, in your case, you're interested and your brain knows about the woman and sex. So it's muscle, sex. Good looks, sex. Naked body, sex. That's the association. And that association, it triggers the anxiety or triggers arousal. And that's your age. You can get an erection for a tree for all I care. That's how it is. If it's round and smooth, you can get an erection. When you touch yourself, you want to, you want to masturbate, you get erection. So what are you thinking? Because you touch yourself, you want to fuck yourself? No, it's the way it is. You think anything sexually relevant, you can see a hindquarter of a horse, shiny and nice and muscly, you might get an erection. Doesn't mean you're a horsesexual. So let go all these interpretations. Your body farts, your body gets erection, your body looks at the man and thinks it's good looking. Yeah, it's okay. It's very normal for you to recognize, for any man to recognize another man's good looks. No problem with that. And then the brain associates that because the brain doesn't have a gender, it doesn't understand anything. It's not you. Brain is separate from you. You're not the brain. Brain is not you. So what the brain thinks or does causes your body to react is not you. It's the brain associates that and triggers that, and it's got nothing to do with your inclination, gender, or interests or preferences. But that's how it could affect. So means nothing. Don't interpret anything and just, okay, you fart or you get an erection or something is good looking. Okay, yeah, perfectly normal to notice other people's good looks. All right. And Cesar Altamash says, hi, doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychotherapist. I don't have any medical credentials. I want to make sure you guys don't misunderstand. I'm not here to mislead anyone. My knowledge and information is based on my research on neuroscience, on scholars, work of scholars of 100 years ago, philosophers and psychologists and quantum physics professors that would gather around scholars of 100 years ago and ask their questions about this teacher who had inwardly explored the movement of the psyche and the component of the psyche involved in these movements. Thoughts, consciousness, relationship between the two, fear, desire, ego, and then understanding the components that are involved in the neuroscience of habits, in OCD and OCD subsets, and the combination of all these knowledge has made me capable to deliver it in a different tone, in different way, digestible way. That's why many of you say that you have psychotherapist or you have a therapist, but you don't understand what the psychology is telling you, but you do understand and able to apply what I'm sharing with you. These are all because of my research, which is not necessarily in line exactly as the text academic of the psychologist, psychotherapist. It's in a different understanding, an inward exploration of the psyche and the movement of the psyche. That's why it's more understandable in some of your cases. And many of you have great results with your psychotherapists and psychologists and continue, and that's great. And these information are in a different tangent, in a different angle, and it's presenting it and expressing itself pretty much the same information, possibly, but in a different package. So, having said that, Cizra says, my ex broke up with me 5 months ago when I found out that I had breast tumor. He said that we don't have a future together after being together for 6 years with me. He didn't ever call me after He knew about my operation. He was my best friend. I still cry. I lost my respect. No, you didn't. He lost his respect. What are you talking about? I don't know if you had to operate and remove the breast, but many people who haven't removed breast for any reason, that they didn't have to, they have augmented their breast by having an implant and make it more beautiful. So, what's the difference? You can have a beautiful breast implant, and just as other ones who haven't had the operation, but they made their breast more beautiful by having mm, the implant, so you can have it too. And there we go. No, the ones who haven't had the operation, they still don't have a good one, and so they make it a good one by such procedures. So, like, you can have that. You don't have to worry about it. I'm sure it will work out perfectly fine. And Cesar says, "What should I do? I deleted my social media. Why? He's dating a girl now, so good for him. He can go date whoever he wants. But you can date somebody else too." Now, who he told me not to worry about, what should I do? You just go get that implant for a new breast if you have removed it, and then you're as good as new. Jesus, I mean, guys these days, actually, if the woman has a small breast, they love for her to have a implant. So beautiful and so amazing. So you had to make it smaller or have it removed, so now you can have the implant. Same as if you had a small one and you will have an implant. What's the difference? You'll be even more beautiful. So, nah, don't worry about it. Life goes on. So what should I do? I hate myself. You hate yourself? Then I got to get my ugly stick and fly over and beat it on your head. Why do you hate yourself? Are you kidding me? Uh, why he wasted my time and energy he used to take money from me? Well, then you're naive. You had a loser, not a boyfriend. And how old are you? You didn't say anything here. I want to know how old you are and what country you're living in. So I'll have some information. You shouldn't have given money constantly. If the guy maybe was short in something, maybe you guys help each other. But obviously, he was a loser and he was a user. So now, look, this maybe in a way it was a way to get rid of him, and he himself already gone. Because otherwise, you didn't seem to be wise enough to get rid of him yourself, and the universe had to get rid of him for you. Now he's gone. So go find a nicer guy with some echelons of respect and some career, some money, some ability to provide. And you have your own career. I hope that you will be self sufficient. Obviously, you are because you loaned him money. And find another one. Just let me that information. There's nothing wrong with you. Stop thinking that way. So many people, so many of us have different challenges, and we have to deal with it, and we deal with it one way or another. And so this was your challenge, and thank God you're safe and you're good, and you had the access to medical procedure to deal with that, what was threatening your life. Now you get the implant, and you look just as beautiful as ever, and all good. Um, ah, You see, you still have your breast. Oh, great. Okay. And you remove the tumor. All right. So what's the problem then? I mean, even then it would not be a problem because you would have an implant. Now you even don't have to do that. Hmm? Or if any correction or augmentation needs to be done, you can do it. So I wonder why you putting yourself down like that. You have to you need a little bit more respect for yourself, a little bit more love for yourself, value for yourself, and have more self-esteem and confidence in yourself. And if you need to be more fit, go to the gym, get yourself fit over a year or so, work hard and enjoy it, be fit, be healthier, have a healthy lifestyle, eat nutritional food, simple food, and build yourself to a level that you feel happier about yourself. And then from there, you exude a better confidence level about yourself. And then others will notice how well you take care of yourself, how you respect yourself, how you carry yourself. And then you'll gather a better quality of suitors to come around you. 21-year-old India, Calcutta. All right, 21-year-old. You're just so young. And you gotta have lots of pep and confidence in yourself at this age. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. You're an Indian woman, you're proud, you're beautiful, you take care of yourself and do whatever needs to be done. Have a good career, good education, and be self sufficient so you don't need money from the boyfriend or for the men or for your husband, so you can create money and that'll give you more respect and self esteem. And you'll be more valuable in the eyes of everyone and take care of yourself and have your fitness level, have your lifestyle figured out, sleep well, have good nutrition, exercise, have your career, your education, and build your life that way. And then you feel confident and the others will follow the way you treat yourself. And we have Pwom Tube says, my ex broke up with me last night because my depression and anxiety were too much for her. And her daughter, she's 20, her daughter, 10 months, she doesn't want her daughter to get anxiety. Okay. Well, that means you got to do something with that anxiety. You got to check with your doctor and figure out what you need to do and educate yourself through different videos available by psychologists, psychotherapists. Even I have many videos on the anxiety. And one of the simple things that you can do when you have anxiety, you come to understand that there are two systems of breathing that we have. Pre-Butzinger complex is a system that regulates our normal breathing. The way you breathe normally, or short ones as you talk and as you do your work, your daily work, and you breathe normally. That's pre-Butzinger complex. And then there's another system of breathing called parafacial nuclei. Parafacial nuclei is the way that we human beings are able to modify a breathing rhythm while it's automatically, involuntarily, and automatically regulated by pre-Butzinger complex, which is the normal breathing. But parafacial nuclei system allows us to manipulate it. That's why when you laugh or you cry, you're still breathing, even though it's not a normal breathing, but it allows you, the system allows you to breathe irregularly, but breathe while you're crying or laughing, like, or when you cry, but you're still breathing. That's a different system that allows you to manipulate that other system of breathing, which was a normal breathing. Using this parafacial nuclei system, you can then use it to create this kind of a breathing when you have anxiety. So when you have anxiety, this is what I want you to do. You breathe in, one long one, and then another one. So you double breathe in one shot, which uses the parafacial nuclei system to allow you to do this double breathe. So it goes like this. Then when you finish, you breathe normally. This one double breathe, the way I showed you, you double breathe and then wait a few seconds and then let it out from your mouth slowly until it finishes. Then you breathe normally. That already, it's acting like what the psychologists, psychotherapists use on their patients who are depressed and they can't get them out, and they give them an electric shock. That jolts them out of their mode and brings them out to the main level so they can see the world as it is. This breathing thing is actually kind of doing that other way of the electric shock, but without it, and get you out of that anxiety level and shoves you out to the main level of life, and you become aware of resetting. So just do it. Everybody do it right now. See how amazing you feel. We breathe one long and another one on top of it. We wait a few seconds, then we let it in slowly through your mouth until it's done. Then you breathe normally. So 1, 2, 3, let's do it together. Such a good feeling. You don't even want to come out of it, and you feel amazing. Why? What it does is it stops all thoughts. And anxiety is thought based. Unless there's a thought, there is no anxiety. So when thoughts stop, it kicks you out of that anxiety mode because there's no thought to support the anxiety, to instigate, trigger the anxiety. You become clear in the brain and there's nothing there. And then you feel safe and you're out of that anxiety at the moment. So work on yourself that way and get help from your doctors if you wish. And then meditate. Meditation is amazing when you connect yourself with the nature's power and you become more confident, and anxiety doesn't work out that easily anymore on you. All right. Stephen Lowe is here. It says Stephen Mail 42 Los Angeles. Thank you for that. Hello, Stephen. How are you? It's been a long time. Hope all things working for you. In fact, that's funny. I was thinking about you today before my my live stream, and I was telling myself that he must be doing well and everything is going well, and hopefully that's the case. Patups, she says she told me that my anxiety. Okay, we got that. Okay, we got, she still lives with her parents and is really codependent on them. I'm 29. All right, then move on to another girl. You know, you don't have time to spend until they grow up. If they're not a woman yet, at that age, she's probably what, 26, 27? She's not really with it. Move on. And he says, I live in Mexico. Oh, okay, great. Free nation. It's probably one of the free places in the world. Definitely, we're not free here in Canada. We've got an idiot as a prime minister and has taken all our freedom and just is on a mission to sell vaccines. I don't know what he gets out of it. Who knows? Cesra says, life says 21-year-old India Calcutta. Oh yeah, I got that one too. Okay. And Caesar says he ruined my reputation in my city. No, your reputation cannot be ruined by just somebody be there. Forget that nonsense. Your reputation is you and how you behave and how you conduct yourself, how you accomplish in life, what you think about yourself. And that's the only thing that matters. The rest of it is all bullshit that they put in the heads of people to control them. So don't think that way. All that tradition, most of it is bullshit. It says, I was with him through thick and thin. Yeah, because you're a good woman and he's an asshole. So forget it. Move on. Life doesn't end like that. People get married and divorced, so their reputation is ruined too. Why? Just by a piece of paper? Forget it. Don't buy into that nonsense. Caesar says, my heart always wants to check on him. Don't. Wants to know whether he's okay or no. The hell with him. He can go die as far as you care. You don't want to do anything to him, but he can go and die. If the guy is an asshole and he moves away just because, he found out that you have a tumor in your uh, breast, well, he's a fucking idiot. He doesn't deserve your attention. Move on. Have respect for yourself. Nova says, HOCD's challenge, I'm still dealing with you, okay? You'll be victorious, Nova. That's for sure. Continue your education and your awareness of that malfunction of the brain disorder. All right. All right. Get panic attacks sometimes, but she can't deal with it. Okay. Yeah, well, that's fine. You need to talk to your psychologist to get rid of the panic attacks because they all have thought based. And sometimes maybe you need medication. Just see what their consultation is and get rid of it. And if this girl doesn't want to be with you, okay, so be it. You can go find another girl. Caesar says, sir, he used to abuse me in front of his friends. Then why would you even consider missing him? He's an asshole. Now his friends and him together make fun of me. Well, again, they're all assholes. I was the best I could, and you're great still. Whatever he used to ask, I used to give him. That's your problem. Some people are compassionate, loving themselves, and they will do anything for you. And if you do anything for them, they would appreciate it and they would be respectful to you. But some people are weak assholes that when you're too available to them, do anything they want, they think they're really something and they're strong, and that what you're doing is out of weakness rather than love and care. So they're not worthy of you doing all those things for them. So you shouldn't have. Now you have, and you know he's an asshole, his friends are assholes. Move away from him. Don't pay attention to them, and don't give a damn, and move on with your life. So what should I do? I just told you what to do. Please guide me. I just did. Sir, I might commit suicide. No, you don't. You won't. Why? Because we love you. You won't commit suicide because there's some assholes. It's like me saying, I don't want to go to work because when I was traveling to my work, there were a couple of dog shits on the road. Well, dog shits are on the road. What can I do about it? I move away and go about my business. I'm not saying no, I won't go on this road unless it's all no bumps or no puddles and no ditches and no dog shit and no debris. No, I can't control that. There's so many things that are undesirable to me in this world. But I have to negotiate my way through it all and get to what I want to accomplish. Same thing. Why should you commit suicide? For some fucking asshole who's low life, has no respect and no real qualities. If you were stupid enough to fall for this asshole, that doesn't mean that you're not valuable. It means you're compassionate. You're such a sweet person. You're valuable. Every one of us in this world that happen to be alive are chosen one. Never forget that. There are many people in this world who want to have children and they cannot. But there are many people in this world who didn't want to have children, but they got a child. Why? Because it's not up to them. The universe decides who will have children. And many of us who are here, we've all been chosen by the universe to be born. And then when our parents were doing the hanky-panky, there were 300 million sperms, meaning possibility of an offspring. But you, every one of us, were the only ones who beat every other possibility, all these sperms, and we won. We were first. We defeated all those other possibilities, and we were born by the will of the universe. So, to begin with, we are the chosen one. We are the highest quality, which means we've been chosen to be here as the highest quality because we have a role in creating and shaping this world, this universe, the way it is operating. It needed us to be here to fill our space and our place in this jigsaw puzzle, the complete picture and completeness of the world of life. We have a role in it. That's why you're here. You're not here for this asshole, whether he's a good person or a bad person or make fun of you or not. Your mission is not here. So this idiot's reaction to you make you feel valuable or not. You're here because you're valuable to begin with. And the universe needs you to complete itself. Every one of us. No matter if I know you or not, no matter if I know someone in China or not, what I do affects them, and what they do eventually affects me. And we all need to be here for our lives to be the way it is. So you better fucking never ever say that again, that I might commit suicide. You commit suicide, I'll come and kill you myself. What do you mean commit? Your life doesn't belong to you. It belongs to your parents. It belongs to me. It belongs to so many billions of others in this world who count on your effects in this universe. The ripple of your effects, if the ripples of your action affects other people's lives, and the ripple of their action affects your life. But you have to understand what you choose, what you don't choose, so you will be in the good ripple, not the shitty ones, like the one that you've been involved with, because you were silly not to see that these people are not up to your values. You're much higher than them. That's why you're compassionate. That's why you're loving. That's why you're sweet. For that quality, we need you to be here. We need them to get bugger off, not you. So if you ever talk like that again, I will never talk to you again. We need you. You cannot deprive us from you not being here. You must be here. We need you. Our lives are complete because you are here, whether you know me or not, whether you know others or not. I have never seen you. I will never see many of you, billions of others in the world, but I need them to be here, and they need me to be here. We are all connected. Our energy is connected, and what we do in life ripples and affects all others around. So for us to have the life that we have, we need you here. Every one of us need every one of us to be here. So don't you talk to me like this life belongs to you, that you're going to commit suicide. It belongs to me, part of you. Don't deprive me of what belongs to me. You take good care of it. You respect it. You take good care of yourself. You endow yourself with education. You get a good job. You go strong, and you don't give a shit about what these people. You're beyond them. Much beyond them. All right. Now you create your own laughter and your own destiny, not by the actions or reactions of others. Understand, you're the master, not the follower of these jerks. Your life and quality of your life is in your hands. We're all in it together, and you're part of us, not part of them. So fuck them. Go live your life and report to me later when you have more education and when you have made a good thing out of your life. I want to hear back from you. All right. And Mapco, it looks like a alphabet that I'm not familiar with. Says, I found out that I have HOCD. Can my HOCD change my sexuality? No, I don't want to be homosexual. You're not. If you were homosexual, you wouldn't even have this question. Then your HOCD would be about heterosexuality, because HOCD is always opposite of who you are, what you are. It will never be about, if it is exactly what you are, you wouldn't even notice it. So even if you didn't know your gender or your sexuality, if you were born in an island and you had never seen or know any knowledge about it, if Intrusive thoughts come in, HOCD hits you. Because of the intrusive thoughts and the HOCD, the opposite of it is what you are. So in other words, if you didn't know if you're heterosexual or not, the fact that your HOCD is about homosexuality, it's always opposite of what you are. That's what it hits you. So now you know you're heterosexual. So if you didn't know it up to now you know. This is what is very common. It hits lots of people, and it's got to do with the glitch in the signaling system of the brain, not your sexuality, your orientation or inclination. And that will not change. If you were born homosexual, you would be homosexual the rest of your life. If you're born heterosexual, you're born heterosexual, and you'll be like that the rest of your life. You're not milk. The one day you're milk, the next day you're sour milk, then later on you're yogurt, and then later on you could change to cheese, and then back and forth. You're born as who you are, and that's what you are. Now, the brain is not you, it's separate from you. It can have glitches, malfunctions, and we've talked about it in detail in so many videos. And if you want to talk to me in more detail personally, you can go on my site, make an appointment, and then we'll discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. Pat Santos says, 27, New York, why intrusive thoughts does go fast? What does that mean? What does go fast? Pat, I don't know what you're talking about. So always remember, guys, we're about to end our conversation here, but it's been 2 hours. So I need to go right now. In the meantime, just one moment, please. Okay. I have an appointment. I got to go, guys. And so I think we answered all the questions. So the rest of them for the next time. So it's time for me to say, let's see what you have here. Zizra says, thank you, sir, for existing. I should playlist which you made. I wish I could meet and greet you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And Max says, it looks like my brain messed up with me. Okay. All right, guys. I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and sharing a thing, allowing me to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind-that-seeks-truth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.